Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. I just filmed a video talking about new releases like a few days ago, and here we are again. Bunch of new stuff, including 2 new fragrances from Rabanne, a new-ish Chanel, a new Coach fragrance, and a new Gentleman fragrance as well. So just all kinds of new stuff to talk about. I'm gonna let you guys know everything you need to know. And if you want more info on these, you can go to ifragranceofficial.com and check them out there. Also some of this from scentadvice.com as well. So let's get started with that new Chanel. Please don't strike this video. It's already for sale, so I think we're good. Chanel is hitting us with a brand new Allure fragrance, guys. It is called Allure Homme Sport Superleggera 2026. Yeah. Chanel has relaunched Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. After being promoted initially as a limited edition, the scent is now back permanently. Great. A fresh woody and ambery composition balancing precision and perfection. It symbolizes the free man who strives for perfection. The bottle has been reimagined to feature clear smoked glass with the emblematic Superleggera signature embossed in red at the front of the flacon. Yeah, so a lot of you guys out there are obviously gonna remember the original Allure Homme Sport Superleggera, which I bought that one when it was brand new, did a video on it and everything, and it was $172 at the time. This new version, the 2026, is $173. It is $1 more expensive. I'm assuming that $1 is gonna make a big difference, but it is just kind of funny to me where it's like, oh, we gotta pump up that price, baby. So when you go to Chanel's website, they say that this one is a fresh, woody, ambery interpretation of Allure Homme Sport that has the lively fruitiness of a grapefruit accord combined with vibrant, full-bodied notes, creating density and depth. A powerful musk gives the fragrance a distinctive boldness. Also like that, how they go, it's combined with vibrant, full-bodied notes. And you go, well, which notes exactly? There are a lot of different options for those. And they just go, don't worry about it. Just, they're full-bodied, they're vibrant. Just, idiot. Don't ask me anything again. Now, the original Superleggera, that one came out in 2024. The full note breakdown for that one at the time was a little more complex than what we're seeing right now, because if you look on iFragrance, they just have the notes that Chanel mentions on their website, which again, those 2 notes are grapefruit accord and musk. When it first hit, it had citrus, mandarin orange, grapefruit, woods, including cedar, musk, amber, patchouli, and sandalwood. So a little bit more of a complex note breakdown just as far as what the marketing was. Now, I have already purchased the new 2026 iteration. It's available on Chanel's website, so if you go there, you can check it out. And I'll have it linked in the description below as well. But I have not gotten it in and smelled it just yet. When I do, I'll do a side-by-side comparison with the original Superleggera and let you guys know if it's different or if it's literally the exact same thing. I'm assuming that even if it is different, it's not gonna be super different, but we'll see. I'm assuming honestly that if it is different, it's probably not that different. Regardless though, I'll do the side-by-side very shortly. And if any of you out there have never smelled Superleggera, it is essentially just a very fresh, easygoing, citrus-forward type of scent. And it's also available at Macy's.com as well, forgot to mention that. So again, I'm assuming it's the exact same thing, but I'll do the side-by-side, let you guys know very shortly for sure if it is or is not. And if you're one of the people who really wanted Superleggera, but you weren't able to scoop it up before it went away because it was a limited edition that was discontinued pretty quickly, they have brought it back. Hopefully this means that they'll continue to come out with more fragrances, which I feel like they need to do, just because all the other fragrance brands are coming out with tons of different things and they're taking a lot of market share. So it would make sense for Chanel to kind of start getting the engine going again, you know, get some new stuff out there. And even though this is not technically really new at this point, it's still good to see. Before we hop to the next fragrance, let's hop to some codes. The JOMASHOP ones have updated. Use the new ones, not the old ones. The old ones are gone. They change every quarter, and they only work within the JOMASHOP app. Then I also have codes for other stores like Fragflex, the Perfume Box, Gift Express, and more. So use those codes anytime you shop at those stores, save yourself some money. Next up, let's talk about one of the Rabanne fragrances. Let's talk about the new Invictus, and this one is Invictus Elixir. Kind of interesting, they came out with Invictus Victory Elixir before actual Invictus Elixir, but better late than never. Enter the stadium, feel the intensity, experience Invictus Elixir. by Rabanne. An exhilarating no-limits blend of epic intensity that ignites the senses. An everlasting salted mineral accord meets aromatic cypress of the eternal winter and the opulence of vanilla caviar. Apparently, the eternal winter wears aromatic cypress. Maybe like a little crown around the little cypress crown. An olfactive signature crafted for the undefeated hero as he scales new heights to snatch the golden trophy and celebrate his sporting success. I get it that they're trophy bottles, but at the same time, are we really pretending that Invictus Elixir is something that people who are doing sporting success are going after? I don't think it's gonna be a sporty fragrance, is all I'm saying. So the note breakdown right now, very simplistic. Once again, 3 notes, mineral notes, specifically salted mineral, which salt is a mineral, so I guess, yeah. Aromatic cypress and vanilla caviar. And just for the record, when it says vanilla caviar, because I know there's gonna be some people out there who are like, ugh, fish eggs, what? Vanilla caviar is just the little seeds in the vanilla pods. So like a concentrated vanilla. So it should be a sweet vanilla, very rich, deep. That's the expectation with vanilla caviar. Also, obviously with the type of marketing, you know, they want to kind of make that seem higher end, which makes sense because it's an elixir and they're going to charge you more for it. And the salted mineral accord makes me think that this is going to lean more towards that original Invictus styling, but done with that modern, very rich vanilla aspect that has become so popular. Because if you go back to the OG Invictus, that was the whole vibe, right? This sweet mineral freshness that it had. Also bay leaf, randomly. The cypress is potentially a little bit of a different twist on the aromatic edge that some of the Invictus fragrances have, but I think that could work in pretty well. So in my mind, it kind of goes one of 2 potential ways. Either the vanilla that's used here is a little similar to the way it's used in something like Invictus Victory Elixir, but then the other facet of the fragrance is different, giving you more of the actual original Invictus DNA kind of mixed with Victory Elixir to an extent, if that makes sense. Or they go a different direction and give us a much deeper, bolder, richer, darker sort of vanilla, a little more intensity there, instead of making it really sugary sweet. Either way, Invictus Elixir coming out really soon. Let me know what you guys think about that. Which way is it gonna go? Next, let's talk really quickly about the Coach fragrance. This is Coach Pure Platinum Parfum. And the bottle looks pretty similar to the original Coach Platinum, except with an additional little hangy doohickey on there. It's pricey. It makes it look high end, brothers. Just a leather one, lame. Leather with a tiny little metal one over top, exquisite. Discover Coach Pure Platinum Parfum, also known as Coach Triple P. The new intense aromatic fougere fragrance for men. The scent is inspired by the modern man. Free, flexible, and intense. A daring scent that merges authenticity and power between personal expression and a strong image. The warm and magnetic rum provides a rich base, contrasted with apple and luscious tangerine, paired with cedarwood and lavender, with the base of amber and minerals that complement the irresistible nature of the fragrance. So Coach at least gave us more than 3 notes. Thank you, Coach. Obviously, you guys coming in clutch here. Now, to remind you of what the original Coach Platinum had, that note breakdown was actually really different. That one had pineapple, black pepper, juniper, cashmeran, geranium, sage, vanilla, sandalwood, leather, and patchouli. Also came out like 8 years ago, so they took their time coming out with a new one. So you may be like me and think to yourself, well, these 2 note breakdowns have approximately almost nothing in common. So what? My expectation is it does not really smell like platinum. Could be wrong, obviously, but there's almost no real overlap. Watch it come out and it just smells like a somewhat deeper version of the original one. Just, okay, great job. Look though, you know, and I know what the deal is with Coach. Wearable. Yes, they are almost always easy to wear. Compliment pullers. Yes, typically they're very good compliment pullers. Cheap. Yes, typically once they hit discounters, they are quite cheap compared to most other designer fragrances. Those 3 things are good. So when this one hits discounters and it actually stays there for a little while, that price is gonna start dipping down. And at that point, if this is a good one, it's gonna start looking real attractive. And looking at the note breakdown, it looks like it would be pretty good. This could be one of those sneaky, really, really solid scents because, look, I'm a simple guy. Apple and tangerine, I like both those things. If you don't foobar it, it's probably gonna smell pretty nice off the top. That's half the battle, because when people smell these in stores, smell them for the first time, if that opening is really good, you got them hooked. And I love a good opening myself, you know. Cedar lavender, fine. A little basic, but you know, we can work with that. And then of course in the base, throw in the rum. Who amongst us does not like a little rum in their fragrances? Boozy sweetness, sounds good. Also, depending on how this hits, it could be one of those scents that works just all year round. So even though it's a Coach and a lot of people kind of roll their eyes, oh Coach, whatever. It sounds, like I said, that it could be sneaky good. And if this hits discounters and it is a really solid fragrance, it's gonna make a lot of people happy. The next scent we'll talk about is Gentleman Society Sport.
Huh?
Yeah. Discover Givenchy's Gentleman Society Sport Eau de Parfum, the latest addition to the renowned Gentleman collection. The new flanker takes the aromatic woody core of the original and makes it much airier and versatile. Full notes will be added soon. So obviously not a huge amount to go off of right here. Now I'm gonna withhold judgment until I get the fragrance because, you know, Dior Homme Sport, for example, rules. I think that stuff is top notch. But I will say that in generalities, in 2026, I don't know if a whole heck of a lot of people get hyped when there's a new flanker announced and the entire flanker name is just Sport. And then it's like, okay, well, cool. How does this differentiate? Like, why is this worth buying? And they basically go, yeah, so here's what we did. We took the fragrance, okay? Now stick with me here. And we made it airier. I think a lot of people hear that and they just go, yeah, I don't know about that. And at the same time, I'm not sure if Gentleman Society is like the line that people are necessarily going, dude, dog, what we need is to just really make this stuff into a gem fragrance. Like, we need it. Again, I'm withholding judgment. If this comes in and it's absolutely friggin' awesome, then I will eat my words happily, like with Dior Homme Sport, like I said. It works sometimes. It's just, it feels throwbackish in a way. Like you go back a decade, 2 decades, there were way more flankers coming out that had sport tacked on to the end of it. That is not a common thing anymore, not as much as it was. But you know, maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're bringing it back. Maybe they're gonna absolutely, you know, show us who's boss. Slap us around a little bit, spray that fragrance in my eyeballs and be like, you like it now, huh? Friggin' idiot, stupid dork. And I will just be like, yes, master, please, give me more sport flankers. That's all you have to go on though, basically just saying, hey, we're taking the original, making it airier and more versatile. You guys let me know what you think. I'm kind of poking a little fun, but I am legitimately looking forward to it. Do I think it's gonna top Ombre? That's tough, but we'll see. Last but not least, Rabanne 1 million Night Elixir. And this is actually kind of funny. If you look at the gradient of 1 million Night Elixir, it's essentially the reverse of Invictus Elixir. So they kind of got like a little thing going on here. They're planning these 2 fragrances together. You love to see it. Discover 1 million Night Elixir, the latest flanker of the iconic 1 million collection for men. The signature gold bar meets black for the very first time. I could make a joke. I'm not gonna make a joke. The Million Man has no limits when it comes to partying. No limits. He is bold and unapologetically wild. He loved being under the spotlight with warm amber seduction and refreshing mandarin, meeting irresistible maple syrup for a mesmerizing masculine trail that marks the start of the Rabanne nights. Good. I don't know why I think it's so funny. It's not funny. It's stupid. The Rabanne man has no limits when it comes to partying. Good, that's good. Good for you. You go, brother. They have hit us with a derpified note breakdown again. Mandarin orange, maple syrup, and amber. So it's a fragrance about Canadians. This is a Canadian fragrance. Because maple syrup. They have a maple leaf on the flag. It counts. I'm gonna shout out to my buddy Cascade Scents, Manny up there in Canada. I'm gonna tell him this fragrance is for him because he knows no limits when it comes to partying. Legitimately though, I am glad to see something a little different. Is it gonna work? Who knows? But at least it's not just vanilla, although I'm sure there's gotta be vanilla in here, let's be real. And I do like vanilla, to be fair, but you know, after like 15 fragrances in a row, you go, maybe we switch things up a little bit. So the mandarin orange, that's gonna lock it in with kind of that 1 million vibe, I would imagine. That maple, obviously, that's the wild card. That's either gonna make it or break it. Either it hits and it's unique and it works and you just go, oh yeah, this stuff rules, because you already know it's gonna be strong. You already know. It's a Raban, it's a 1 million, it's an elixir. So that part is already locked in. If that maple gives you a unique kind of sweetness that grabs attention and sets it apart from all the other sugar bombs out there, this stuff rules. The things that could hold it up is if the maple syrup really doesn't smell like maple at all. You know, if it doesn't actually have that, then you just go, well, the marketing, I mean, it misses the mark here. Like, what are you doing? Trying to make it sound like it's something it's not. Or, and I think that this is less likely, but still possible, if the maple note that they put in there just doesn't work, like if it just comes across weird or off-putting, that'll kill the fragrance pretty quick. Not the same style at all, but it's kind of like a Raban Million Gold. That one has, to a lot of people, this kind of like dill pickle or even vinegar or body odor smell, and that kills that scent for a ton of people. I actually didn't get that at first with that one, and then my wife picked it up and she was like, oh, that stuff is disgusting, never wear it again. And I was like, ah, you're crazy, you're out of your mind. And then I wore it again like a few days later, just testing it out, and I got that too. I got like the body odor kind of vibe from it in the air, and I was like, oh, it's ruined. So that's the risk that you do run when you try to do something slightly different. Either it pays off or blows up in your face. So we'll see which one this is, but I'm cautiously very optimistic. So there we go, guys. New fragrances coming out. Let me know which you're most excited for. Of those, honestly, probably the Rabans for me. The Coach one I think could be a low-key banger. Gentleman Society Sport, you know, that one I feel a little trepidatious about because I feel like, and I could be totally completely wrong, but I feel like it's gonna be either a fragrance where I spray it on and I go, awesome, great, classy scent that you can wear pretty much year round. Best case, fantastic. Or it's gonna be something where I spray it on and I go, this is instantly forgettable. Nobody is gonna remember this 6 months from now. And then the Chanel, essentially a re-release, but we'll see if it's any different. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourself. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.